I'm going to try to explain a very hard concept and make it real simple. Basically, we got our two membranes. We got the light membrane, light consciousness, light thought. Then we got the dark membrane, our universe. Dark matter, dark material, dark consciousness. Basically, what we view as intelligent design, we've been calling God. And the reason why we use God and Satan terms as singular is because we're human. We have a human mind. So we think individually, singular. So we project singularly. So we think God is singular, and then we think Satan is singular. Well, I'm going to throw those terms out because they really only apply to us in this world, and they're really not accurate because they don't really explain how the universe and the universes that are created from these two membranes actually operate. So let's take the light membrane. Light membrane. Well, it's definitely threaded with compassion, harmony, joy, and peace. In fact, that's the main fabric of it. This makes up our souls. This is why we are compassionate at our inner nature. Then there's these science threads. A creation thread, an evolution thread. All types of physics exist in the light membrane. In fact, it is a balance of science and compassion. I mean, if you look at the Earth, how can you not say that this is not a magical place? When all around us through this universe, it's complete, it's dark, it's ugly, it's cold, it's bitter, it's harsh, it's destructive. And look at the magical science that allows us to walk on this planet, that we actually live and breathe and can communicate and love each other and kill each other due to the disorder. So our light membrane is it's a scientific based realm of physics. More physics exist in the light membrane than the four forces that are running this dark universe. It is infinite sciences, infinite physics. The light membrane and the science behind it and the physics, they influence what goes on in the dark membrane. What the light membrane has done, okay, now this dark membrane, our universe, you got to remember, it's basically a void. It's empty space. It's dark. There's nothing in it. When it was first created, it was just a void, empty space. Zero. It's a vacuum. So the physics of light, what it did is it went into this dark membrane and it created a sun. It manipulated the universe, formed the atoms, because underneath the fabric of this universe is the light fabric that is influencing the dark membrane. Now the dark membrane, you got to remember, it's disorder. So it also influences too. It breaks down the influence from light. It wants to do its own thing. So light just can't come in here and boom, create a heaven, or that would have happened eons ago. No. Dark, this is malicious consciousness. It's dark consciousness. It's alive. This whole universe is alive with a different type of energy. And it's disordered energy. So light goes in there and manipulates, influences the sun, and then influences a little earth. What it's doing is it's adding light into this dark membrane. That is intelligent design, working with evolution to get this done. Because in the dark membrane in our universe, it is time-based. It is all about time. So any influence light can do to the dark membrane, our universe, has to do with evolution and time. So intelligent design and evolution are actually married because evolution is the working process of intelligent design. What this has done is this has created us. This ties into my other little video. It's created us gray little spirits. That's what we are. We're gray little spirits out of this process. We're dark consciousness. The light came in here, created a fake sun for fake light, created an earth, turned this dark consciousness into us, a human species, a light species, pulling us up into the light membrane, pulling us up into heaven, pulling us up into the science, into the compassion. We're learning about this light membrane, this light consciousness, this light universe. In the meantime, while we're learning, what this does is this unlimited physics, unlimited science from intelligent design, well, they create all kinds of heavens for us in between. That's what heaven is. It's a compassionate white light realm that we exist in. Now, being that we don't understand the science, we don't understand that a thread of our soul is evolution, creation, physics. And when I say physics, I don't mean one physics. I mean an infinite amount of physics. I mean, there's all kinds of threads that make up your soul. We don't understand that stuff. So we get housed in a very basic heaven-like structure, and we're taught who we are and what we are. That is what's going on in the universe. Two membranes have combined to pull the consciousness from the dark membrane up into the light membrane. We weren't born from a God or from light. No. We were born here on earth as dark consciousness that is developing through many heavens into the light membrane. That's intelligent design working through evolution to get it done. They are married. They are not separated. They're like this. They work together. 1, 2, 1. They're the same. I would like to explain some insane consciousness because we got to explain it. One of the best cases that's been documented was Eben Alexander, a neurosurgeon, who, for the most part, had his disease in his brain that ate away his brain and shut it down. He was no brain activity. His frontal lobes, cortex, everything was shut down. So it couldn't have been a dream. But he experienced something that is by far the most current and modern visitation to another realm, another dimension, other frequencies that exist right here on Earth, in Earth, and around Earth. Eben Alexander died. He was dead for all purposes. He went into a place. Now, because we are so singular, we call heaven and hell, and that's what we think it is, but those are biblical terms, but it's not. It's really light consciousness, love consciousness versus dark consciousness. And we call it hell, but it's not hell. It's just, evil would be a better term because it's an absence of light, but it's really insane consciousness. When Eben died, he went into a different realm. This is Earth, that surrounds Earth and inside Earth. He described it, I can't remember if he used the word hell, but this is what he described. He was underground with big red roots, grotesque faces popping out at him, a weird pounding sound in the background. It just felt dark, closed, and like he was inside Earth. And around him was all this malicious energy, grotesque faces popping out of the material there and scaring him. That's insane consciousness. It exists. It's real. It's a different frequency. It surrounds us right now, but we don't see it because we're in a different frequency zone. Earth has raised our frequency out of that. That's why that's the whole invention of fake light, was to add light to the darkness, to do this, to make this insane consciousness human. Light penetrates into it and creates the human. The conversion process of insane consciousness to human with a light soul. It's a small little soul. This ties into my other video of the 3 types of souls: dark souls, gray souls, and big old gigantic white souls. Well, this is the root of it. So light goes in there, creates a little human soul that gets pulled to the surface or born on the surface inside this dark universe, and starts developing the consciousness. So the first heavens, and they still exist, are immediately around Earth, while the insane consciousness is in the middle and surrounding the planet. The physics of light, the compassion of light, the intelligence of light creates altered realities for these dark souls. We have advanced to a gray area, which are a little bit bigger human souls. But at the same time, light really had the ability, because there's no time. This is a timeless area. There is no time. So here's a very advanced concept that happens to be the truth. And once we get our heads around it, we can understand that it actually makes sense. When light penetrated into this insane consciousness, this dark realm, and created the human soul and pulled it to the surface, well, since there's no time in light, everything is an instant creation, a flash of creation, it actually took our species and pulled the whole species up into heaven in an instant. These are our future selves. Our soul, our light soul that light created for us in this universe, instantly became grand. How can it not? Because it is a timeless nature. It's an instant creation zone. It has unlimited physics. There are no limitations. There are no conditions. So our human souls are actually a multi-dimensional being of time. We all have a future self living in heaven, in light. And it looks like this. It's not singular. We are connected in heaven. You cannot disconnect. That's not what light consciousness, the light membrane, does. It's not a divisional disordered membrane like we have in our universe. So things naturally get creative everywhere, shared. Our advanced selves have created the tech age that's going to come down and give us technology to eliminate our human frailties of greed, war, poverty, politics, materialism, money. My other video of the 3 types of souls tried to explain this, but hopefully this helps it out. But a dark soul is still light on the inside. We gray souls, which have a lot to learn in this time reference, kind of like layers of time, are connected here, and we're connected to our future selves, to the light membrane. Consciousness is helping consciousness to pull up. That's what it does. It can't do the opposite. It can't divide. All division comes from the dark membrane, the disordered membrane. Compassion can't judge. There's no need to judge, because basically you got to remember this universe is not material. It's an illusion of material. It's consciousness. We may think it's material, something that we can touch and scratch and feel and scream at. Maybe hit with a baseball bat because we're into baseball. But that's all atoms and stuff that are not real. So part of this consciousness, helping consciousness into the light membrane, is actually turning the real into unreal. So that's why these realms are basically, the dark realms for the dark souls are completely unreal. Our gray heavens that we experience, that we've built to work on our consciousness, because we don't understand the physics of light. We can't use the physics of light. We can't use the science in the fabric of light to its full potential. So we're housed in a lower realm, and we're taught how to use your inner soul from your future self that is tied into one big conglomeration of light, compassion, love, and science. This too, to a certain degree, is unreal. The only thing that is real is the final human light soul. The bigger light, the bigger arena of science and compassion. That is the only thing real. And we are becoming real. Consciousness is helping consciousness to evolve into the state that's already happened. Our atonement has already been granted to us. We're already perfect. There is no sin. There is none of that. That's all unreal stuff. See, we have to explain through the ages, humans have always experienced death and a place of a hellish nature. So we got to explain that. This explains it. Oh, to tie into my other video, how was Eben Alexander rescued? I have another video out. Oh, what is it? Our short visits to hell. The light. Eben was a doctor, a neurosurgeon, so he didn't believe in Jesus or Muhammad. So Eben was rescued from this dark, insane consciousness on a beautiful big butterfly with a beautiful girl. I mean, come on, there's no more magic than that. I mean, here's a guy dead in a coma who can't dream and knows he experienced a butterfly and a beautiful girl that took him out of this insane consciousness and put him into the proper frequency of where he belonged. Had he been a Christian follower, it would have been Jesus. Light would have created Jesus to pull him out. Had he been Muslim, it would have been a Muslim figure, Muhammad, to pull him out. Light will use what is ever comfortable for your consciousness to help you evolve to recognize your future self, your whole self, not the fragmented versions of the time essence of what we are. You know, we're the time fragments. This is all time related. In the unreal space of time, it's all time related. It only gets real, which is our fuller human soul that exists in all of us, in the timeless realm of light. It's a very advanced concept. but it happens to be the most logical and the most accurate, because this is what's occurring to human consciousness. We are a very prized species, each and every one of us. None of us deserve what we are doing to each other on earth. That includes incarceration, death penalty, poverty, hunger, the destruction we impose on ourselves is all caused from the unreal nature of disorder that is the earth, around the earth, of which we have moved up into light, which explains our compassionate nature, why we do have compassion in the world, why we do love each other. We have duality maxed out right now. The duality is going to start to break down once we start learning advanced principles of consciousness, and we have to leave the dogma of the singular individual thinking of God and Satan, heaven and hell. It's all singular. No, it's a mix. Everything's a mix of light and dark. There is no singular. Division up into unity, with many heavens to get that done. Unlimited heavens and unlimited time, because time doesn't exist. Once we get to gray and up, each moment becomes more real and more real. That's a tough one. I hope you can absorb it. Have a great day.